She's an award-winning YouTuber and best-selling author obsessed with helping you go after the life you want.
I like it.
Join her as she seeks out the stories and strategies
Give me every little detail.
of extraordinary people who found success.
I'm going to get emotional. Oh my God.
Welcome to Detail Therapy with Amy Landino.
Good morning, good life. Welcome back to Detail Therapy. I am just chill on the mic with you today, super low key. Here in the United States, we are celebrating Thanksgiving today. And so I just thought this was an opportunity for me to just have a moment with you, a brief moment of gratitude, because I feel like we always have such an agenda when we sit down to talk, don't we? Like there's so many deets to discuss. And today I am going to go into some details, but mostly to share with you what I'm grateful for today. It's something that I care a lot about incorporating into my life, discussing gratefulness, because we lose sight of it so easily. Isn't it funny how today, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, we sit down and everyone's like, we're so grateful, and look at how good this food is if we're fortunate to have it, and look at how healthy we are if we're fortunate for that to be the case. And we're so full of gratitude on one day a year, or maybe a little bit more than that, but we always say it needs to be more than Thanksgiving. It does need to be more than just Thanksgiving. And I've tried to really practice this as much as I possibly can. Specifically, I will just ask people, like, how often do you ask somebody what they're grateful for? It seems like a weird thing. It seems like it'd be an awkward moment, right? But I actually start my team meetings by asking what everyone is grateful for. And nobody needs to come up with this crazy answer, because you can be grateful for something and it not be a huge deal, but just reflect on it. So anyway, I just wanted to reflect with you today. I'm very rambly. I'm feeling very good about, things, and it's because I feel very grateful. And is everything good in the world right now? Absolutely not. That's why on Instagram, we've been doing our hashtag Grateful Goodbye 2020 campaign, 100 days of saying what we're grateful for this year, so that it's not a total loss, because I know 2020 feels like it's a total loss to a lot of people. But also, what are we doing to move the year forward? What are we grateful for, and what are we going to do today to make this year not a total crapshoot? So that's what we've been doing over there. In case you missed it, at Schmatastic, I pop on as much as I can to share my grateful goodbye for the day. But even though it is really hard to see and feel the gratefulness in the moment when it feels like there's so much wrong in the world, I do think that we can always try harder. We can always find the good, especially if we've been dealt a hand that has given us a lot of perspective, which I do think we can be grateful for 2020 for that reason. But let me just rattle off all the ways that I'm grateful today, because I think it's, a little contagious. When one is grateful and one is expressing happiness, maybe that is something that you can continue to go into your holiday with, into your weekend with, into your Black Friday shopping with, whatever you got going on, okay? The first thing I will say is that everyone that's supported and or purchased Good Morning, Good Life, the book, which came out December of last year, can you believe? And the planner, which we rolled out a new version of. We did a paperback version with the book, but our first hardcover planner in our first online shop, gatlu.store, was the fall of this year. And I just am so, so grateful to everybody who supported. It was unbelievable to see how excited people were about the book and how quickly that was selling and getting into people's hands. And it was under Christmas trees last year, just incredible. And then the planner, I mean, we sold out within the first 35 hours. I think it was 35 hours when we first announced it, and it just went on to continue to do so well. And I'm just so, so, so pleased about that. And so if you're listening and you tweeted about it, or you bought it for somebody, or you bought it for yourself, the book, the planner, both, all of the above, whatever, thank you. It's amazing. And it just continues to tell me that we are aligned in our mission together to go after the lives that we want. And I'm so glad that I've been able to share some ways for you to continue to go about doing that for yourself. I also want to give a shout out to the sponsors of everyone that helped to support our work at Gatlu House this year. We had so many fun partnerships and so many fun things that we were able to share with you, things that I'm a big fan of that we got to bring out to you in a big way. So it's always so helpful for our work to be supported by businesses who feel the same way in their mission. It's always good to see that. And so we're super grateful for our sponsors this year. I have to also say that it's incredible how much perspective we've gotten this year on health. And I'm extremely grateful for my physical health. Like, unbelievably. I was actually doing an exercise, not a healthy exercise, a mental exercise the other day, just sitting and kind of giving myself a grade on different areas in my life, you know, the joys of my life, the romance in my life, my friends and family, my financials, my spirituality, things like that. And when it came to my physical health, it's funny how we give ourselves such a hard time, like, ooh, I really need to lose that like 10 pounds, or, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that brownie. It's like, okay, but if I were to really give myself an assessment 1 to 10 on my physical health, first of all, I have been able to safely quarantine, so that has been a huge component this year. I did get sick a couple times at the beginning of the year, which I totally think was sneaky COVID, and I just didn't know it existed yet, but that's just a theory. And still, other than that, I am doing very well from a health standpoint. I've been going to the doctor like I'm supposed to. I've been exercising like a good little soldier. Unwillingly, but also willingly. And overall, my health is very, very good. So even if we, want to nitpick ourselves a little bit here and there, I have to give myself like an 8 on the physical health scale. And that is something to be grateful for. There are so many people who have less control over how that is going for them, whether it's a chronic illness or, maybe you did end up acquiring the dreaded COVID this year, a multitude of things that could really mess with you. It's so hard to go after the life you want if your body's not taken care of. So I'm very, very grateful for my physical health. I realize how privileged I am to be able to be in that position. And so, yeah, I'm just really grateful. As much as I'm like, I wish I could, lose a few lbs, I am very, very, very grateful for my health in the state that I'm in. Kind of random, but on a professional note, I'm very grateful for my agents over at Vayner Speakers. The funny thing is that, we've done a couple of projects this year, but for the most part, the industry was in the crapper this year, shall we say. And they've been trying so hard over there, and they are doing everything they need to do to be patient, to hustle, to take care of their clients, to take care of the gigs that had to cancel and spend a lot of money on speakers and trying to figure out what that's like. I think they're doing amazing work over there, and they're really hanging tough for when the speaking industry comes back. And I'm just so grateful to be on their team, and they've just been wonderful to me this year. So thank you so much to my agents at Vayner Speakers. You guys are awesome, and I really look forward to wowing crowds again in the future when we're all safe and healthy, and getting those motivational vibes going again. It's going to be good. Very, very grateful for my friends over in Shine Squad on Patreon. If you are a part of the crew over there, you are there because of how much you believe in everything that we do at Gatlu House. And you are the reason Good Morning, Good Life was a bestseller. And we wrote that book together. And it is just because of you that this has continued to take off. Shine Squad has been sort of put on the back burner a little bit just because I've not been able to show up in the best way possible, and I don't like to pretend like I can when I don't. I like to put lines in the sand and let people know when things change. And so I'm grateful to Shine Squad because they have been there for me every step of the way, especially in the last year, but ever since we launched last year. And just an amazing group over there that I'm just so grateful for. People who really care about going after the lives they want and working on their morning routines and helping me to communicate to you how we can do that. And on that note, also grateful for the Gatlu Society, all of my friends in the Gatlu that are building their business to go after the life they want, finding their full-time freedom. All of my clients in the Gatlu Society, I am so grateful for you. It is so much fun for me to show up to those weekly trainings and to melt your faces with some good ideas for you to implement, things you can take with you into your day, immediately implement. But here's the thing, like if not for you, those things would not be valuable. I can tell you all the things, but you've got to do it. And I'm very grateful for the Gatlu Society and how they have been executing all of those tips and really building their dream. So excited and so grateful for you. I also have to give a shout out to a former version of myself for starting my own business. Who'd have thunk that one of the reasons that I'm very privileged in my health and privileged in my state of my life is that I'm able to safely work from home. I'm able to build my own dreams, make my own money. And thank you to former Amy for deciding to do that, because it has continued to pay off literally and figuratively in so many different ways. It's funny how, actually, I read a quote this morning. I'm going to tell you what it was because it is exactly how I feel on this topic. Abraham Lincoln said, "Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most." And that is actually what I really feel about starting a business. It's tough work. It's a lot of risk. And it is something that we do to see how it will pay off for our life later and as a whole. So thank you, 2008, 2009 Amy, for being who you are. I am actually grateful for the pandemic. I know that this is going to be a difficult one, especially since I did not actually get sick in theory. I don't know, but I didn't get sick. I could have been asymptomatic or picked it up in a different way at the beginning of the year. I'm not sure, but I'm speaking from a point of perspective. I'm actually grateful for the pandemic because I think it gave a lot of people perspective this year. We do not need terrible, terrible things to happen to us to get perspective. However, terrible, terrible things tend to bring that perspective real quick. I would never, ever wish the loss of a person in your life on anyone. But was it one of the most eye-opening and life-changing things that ever happened to me? Yeah. And I hate that my brother had to pay the ultimate price in order for me to learn a lot of things about life. But he has continued to be my teacher because of that. I do think that the pandemic is one of those really difficult things that brings us perspective. So in that capacity only, I am grateful for what it's doing for humanity and showing us that we can be there for each other, even if it means not being right next to each other, and getting more creative about what that looks like. I'm not grateful for the pandemic and the fact that it is taking lives. But again, it's so, so hard sometimes to really get the perspective you need until it hits too freaking close to home. So let's take the good with the bad. I'm also very grateful for the Black Lives Matter movement from earlier this year. I definitely thought I was woke prior to that. The way that I was brought up, the people I had in my life, I've had so many incredible Black people that have been my friends throughout my life, but I never really truly got it. And I think that we have understood that struggle better than ever before because of how things shook out this year, specifically during the summer. So I know that this is not something that's fixed. There's never one protest that ends up being the moment, which is really unfortunate because not only are protests very effective for the fact that they do bring a great deal of awareness and probably bring a lot of perspective to people who need it, but they're going to have to continue to happen because we can always get better. And I think I'm very grateful to them for doing the really difficult work, risking their lives, wearing the masks, to be in the protests, to show what they believe in, because this is something that we needed to see and we needed to understand. And we clearly have not been understanding it at the level that that would save lives. And again, it's that perspective again. It's a tough thing. It feels like you can't understand someone's position when they have to do something so audacious to get their point across. But then in 50 years, someone's going to write a book about them and everyone's going to say, wow, what a freaking hero. We should recognize the heroes for who they are right now, not who they're going to be in 50 years when we've finally moved forward in our humanity and look back and say, wow, that was a dope thing for that person to do. Let's appreciate them now. Let's be present in that. And on that same note, I'm so grateful. I'm stealing this from my team member, Megan. She said this a couple weeks ago, how grateful I am how many American people showed up to vote this year. And by showed up, I mean just did it, no matter how that took place. I can feel my certain political views, but the reality is we have never seen a vote like this in our history. And that I'm literally getting goosebumps right now because it means so much to me because of the way that I was brought up and the way that I have believed being an American is important, that we just exercise our privileges. And that is a privilege that many of us have and choose not to do. So I'm just grateful for, if you live in the United States and you are a citizen and you have the right to vote and you did, I'm very, very grateful for you for exercising that right, because that is how you start making change. It may feel like it didn't matter, but it doesn't matter that you feel that way because it actually did. So just making the move was so huge. I'm also very grateful to my first child and forever the love of my life, Lucy Landino. My beagle passed away in September. She has been my best friend since I was 18 years old. It has been a journey. And every day that I miss her, I'm mostly just like in awe of the last 5 years, because I'm like, how did she survive this? It's just crazy to me. But I'm very grateful for her. I'm grateful for every sign that she shows me when she wants me to know she's around. And I know that her and my brother are chilling, having a great time with the angels. So miss her, love her, very appreciative of her, and the perspective that she's continued to give me, even in her afterlife. I am very grateful to my friends. I cannot believe how creative my friends have gotten in 2020 to be respectful of each other's boundaries and to quarantine safely and to socially distance and to still show up for each other over the summer very unexpectedly. So first of all my friends got together for my Lucy for her 16th birthday at our new house. And we didn't know that there was going to be a crackdown soon after that, but there was. And then sure enough, when things started looking up in the summer, my friend surprised me for my birthday. And it was one of those things where we could all distance, be in my backyard, stay outside, and just be really careful. And it was just amazing. It was just, and now, again, we're trying to do things together without having to do things together because we know that it's best for all of us if we don't. So I'm just very appreciative of my friends because we've gotten very creative on this year, and they're just really special people to me. So endless quarantine support on that front. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for Vincenzo's family. It's very difficult when we do not live close by to my husband's family, but still staying in touch with them. We were able to go visit them, but we were supposed to go to Connecticut for Thanksgiving. And of course, that's not going to work because it's just not safe to travel. It's a decision that we've decided to make, and that's tough. I think family has to make this tough decision of, I love you enough that I'll see you at the next Thanksgiving, and I'll hopefully see you sooner than that. And we don't just have to be grateful and hang out with each other on Thanksgiving. We can do it other times. It doesn't have to be on this one date. Just like you can get your significant other flowers on a day that's not Valentine's Day. It's amazing. You should try it. But really grateful for his family for being patient with us, and my family. We're right down the street, but we're still not going over there for Thanksgiving, and it's okay to Zoom, and it's okay to do your very best from a distance. And I know that, as family realizes loss and realizes how grateful that they are for their family, but then still can't be around them, that's a difficult thing. So we're just really grateful for both of our families for being patient with us on that. I'm extremely grateful to my team at Gatlu House. I have some extraordinary people working with me, and I don't know if you guys really get it. I don't know. It's I don't know if you've heard, I'm kind of a lot. I try to be really easy to work with. I'm not going to lie. I like being easygoing, but there are also things that I take a great deal of pride in, and that is my relationship with you. And so the work that we do is very important that it is at the level that I have set the expectation for you, and to make sure I deliver. That I make sure I deliver on everything that I promise. So I want to give a shout out to Leela, Megan, Becca, Nancy, Blake, who actually works with my husband at Aftermark, but does a ton to support me as well. Michael and Andrew, who is listening to this podcast right now because it's his job. Thank you to all of you. You make this so much more fun and easy for me to just be good at what I'm good at. And you make it all look as good as I feel. So very, 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 very appreciative. Also, my team, my in-house team is going through a lot in their lives right now, from future babies to moving to loss to plan our launches to, supporting our amazing community. And so between personal and professional lives, it's a quite a dynamic. And just like I would never pretend to be perfectly wonderful with you all the time, I'm going to let you know when I'm being real, because I'm a real person. I'm not going to sit here and say every day is sunshine and rainbows because I woke up and did my morning routine. I respect that of my team as well. And I know that it's a difficult thing for them to balance when things that are not so great are happening, but you also have to show up and truly deliver at your highest level for this job. This is not a normal job. So I just really respect them for that. And I want you guys to give them some virtual props because they really help everything keep going over here. Very grateful to my husband, Vincenzo. I love you. I know we have driven each other a little crazy in our lives and in our careers because we're so close in everything that we do. We co-own companies together. We co-brand things together. We really do a lot together, not just our own personal life. But I'm actually shocked that we didn't level up how crazy we were in quarantine. We were pretty much the same. And so maybe it's because we already have so much time that we spend together. It was not that much of an anomaly to be home together all the time. I'm not sure. But I'm just grateful for him because I wouldn't have wanted to quarantine with anyone else. And he makes this fun. And Khaleesi. Khaleesi is Vincenzo's dog. Everybody's been asking me on social, did we get a new dog? It's not a new dog. It's Vin's dog. When he proposed to me and I had him move to Ohio, we thought it was best for her that she stay in Connecticut with his family. And she has stayed with them for many years to the point where we're not really sure who is the parent of Khaleesi anymore. To be continued, not my place to say. But we borrowed her after Lucy passed to just have a little bit of a support animal. So Khaleesi's been very supportive, and we are actually still hanging out with her because we're not driving back to Connecticut for Thanksgiving. So She's on an extended vacation, a little bit of a sabbatical, and she's doing a great job here. So we're very happy with her. And finally, I want to say how grateful I am for you, for listening to this podcast. If you are listening to this podcast, bless your heart, for letting me just go on and on about how wonderful my life is and what gratitude I have for this year and this life. I appreciate you. I hope that you take it to be able to see in your own life where the good is happening and for you to be more grateful for it. But the fact that you listen to this podcast, watch Amy TV, reply to my tweets, comment on my Instagrams, watch my stories, just buy the planner, read the book, all the things that we have going on, the fact that you engage on any level, I want you to know I'm not counting those things. I am seeing them as the moments that we get to be together on your journey together. And I find that to be so special. And I find that to be something I'm hugely, hugely grateful for. And I want you to know it. But with that, I'm running out of voice, apparently. I don't want to take up any more of your day, especially if you are listening to this on your holiday. I really just want you to know how appreciative I am of you. I want you to have an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving or just day in general with the people that you love, even if the people that you love are on your FaceTime screen. I just hope that you continue to have your best possible year, no matter what it has thrown at you so far, and continue to push through and give a hashtag grateful goodbye to 2020 so we can go into 2021 with more perspective and stronger. You know, we don't have to look for better. We can look for stronger. And I know that's possible. I do. I know that's possible for you if we have the right mindset. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. I'll see you back here on Tuesday. Happy Thanksgiving. Cheers.